In this video, I'm going to show you how you may be able to get 50% more time for every question on the Duolingo English test. You may also be able to get other changes made to the test that will make it easier for you. These changes are called accommodations, and Duolingo has a process for you to request them. The first step to requesting an accommodation is to come to this webpage. englishtest.duolingo.com/test-takers/accommodations. And on this page, you will find a form that you will need to fill out. You can see that the accommodations that you can request include 50% extra time for each question, the ability to use accessibility devices like an alternate keyboard, the ability to use hearing aids, headphones, a listening device, or a screen magnifier, or you can request some other accommodation. These accommodations are not available to everybody. You have to have a disability or some other limitation that qualifies you for one of these accommodations. And the possible disabilities or conditions that qualify you are the following: attention deficit hyperactive disorder, ADHD, autism spectrum disorder, traumatic brain injury, if you have hearing problems, for example, you are deaf or simply hard of hearing, if you have a learning disability like dyslexia, if you have physical limitations or psychological limitations, or if your vision is poor, or if you have trouble speaking, for example, if you have a severe stutter, or if there is another reason that you believe qualifies you for an accommodation. In order to get the accommodation, you need to prove that you have one of these limitations. And Duolingo explains at the bottom of the form that you need documentation from some expert like a doctor or healthcare provider, or an individual action plan from your school. If you don't know what an individual action plan is, this means something at your school from a school counselor or teacher that changes the way that you take tests normally in school, or changes how much time you have for assignments and things like that. So some documentation from some expert like a doctor, teacher, school counselor in order to qualify for the accommodation. Duolingo explains that after you submit this form, you will hear back from one of their supervisors within 3 days, who will work with you to make sure that you have the right accommodation given your limitation. From here, I would recommend that you check out our video on how to avoid the 9 most common mistakes that people make on the Duolingo English test. All right, that's all for this video. I'll see you in the next one.